Hi everyone, welcome to another Quad Education Test Prep Fundamentals video. My name's Tom, and today we're going to be talking about a fun little grammar topic. If English is your first language, then you probably don't think about this mechanic too much as you are reading or writing. If you're taking a foreign language though, this is actually something you have to think about quite actively. And this lesson will feel quite a lot like that foreign language class, but just in English instead. The topic is verb conjugation, and verb conjugation just essentially means giving an action to any kind of verb. So let's take a look. Okay, so first of all, verb conjugate what? People always kind of look at me funny when I say conjugations because it's not exactly a familiar term. So what do I mean by verb conjugations? Well, a verb is any action, like to be, to have, to read, anything like that. Those are all verbs. And conjugating a verb basically just means having a subject actually do the verb. So for those examples, to be, to have, and to read, that would be I am, you have, we read, for example. And looking at the first table below, you can see some of the verb conjugations you can create by placing a verb both in a time and a tense. This is by no means all the tenses out there, there's a lot more, but this is enough for what you need to get all the verb questions done out there on these tests. You can see that we have simple, gerund, and perfect along the tenses, and past, present, and future along the times. So simple tense is pretty self-explanatory. I run, I ran, things like that. Gerund is just ing, I am running, you are running. And then perfect is any completed action. So that's a verb that has the to have construction in there, have, will have, all that kind of thing. And so if we place a tense in a time, we'll get a verb. And for every verb in every tense, there are 6 persons. So this is where we're going to feel a lot like Spanish or French class. So let's say we pick something like the present perfect tense. So for all 6 persons, that's going to be I have forgotten, you have forgotten, she, it, he has forgotten, we have forgotten, you all, so you plural have forgotten, they have forgotten. This is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth tense. If you're wondering, this is actually where the first, second, and third person narrative terms come from. So if you hear this is a first person narrative, that's just to say that everything is coming from the I perspective. And if you're wondering, a fourth person narration would just be everything is from the we perspective. So we do this, we do that. And if you really wanted to be way out there, you do sixth person, everything would have to be from the perspective of them. If you want to do a sixth person narrative. Anyway, getting out of the weeds. This is a lot of verb talk and whatnot, but here's a really simple rule to remember. Never, ever, ever put 2 verbs together unless one is infinitive, ing, or perfect participle. So that means you can't say, I want to play sports. You can't say, I am like football. That's 2 active verbs together. I am and I like, those are both active verbs. You would instead have to say something like, I like to play football. Because then we have, I like active, and then to play infinitive, or I am playing sports. So I am active and playing gerund, ing being the second verb there. And this never, ever, ever rule is something I absolutely stole from my high school Spanish teacher. So that just shows how valuable those foreign language classes can actually be for you learning English in these tests. Anyway, hopefully all this makes sense because it's time to do some practice problems. Okay, here we go. 2 practice problems. Give these a look and see what you can do. Okay, looking at this first one, if you're wondering, this is actually something I did legitimately here on the news yesterday, so not making this one up, true story. During the congressional hearing, the representative from Colorado stood up to make her plea to the assembly. I have spoke with the majority leader behind closed doors about potential solutions, but we were not able to come to an agreement. So, like I mentioned just a moment ago, have spoke, that is 2 verbs together. I spoke and I have, they're both active verbs, so we cannot do that. I has spoke is just wrong person. I had spoke, that's also double active, and so that leaves us with I have spoken, which is a nice, perfect construction. And for the second one here, we have during her race, Charlotte was completely focused on putting one foot in front of the other, as it took all of her willpower to ignore the shooting pain caused by her knee injury. When she finally finished the race, she breathlessly looked down at her watch to see that she had ran her fastest time ever. And once again, really hammering home this double active here. It's a little less clear because I ran, is that active? Is it not? But more clearly is run, not the active one, because you can say I run in the present, but you can't say I run in the past tense. So that's what lets you know that run in this case is going to be the participle. So In this case, we're going to have to, we can't say had ran because it's double active. Had run, that will work. Has ran is double active again. And ran here, that she ran her fastest time ever, that's just a little bit out of time or out of tense for the context here. So had run is going to be our best look. Okay, that's it for this video. Verb conjugations are normally pretty straightforward, but you can bet that the test will find a way to make them difficult. If you're just going off of the way things sound, then they're probably going to sneak one past you. But if you take these lessons to heart and know the mechanics, then you're going to get those questions correct. If you found this material useful, we hope that you will like and share the video and subscribe to Quad Education. If you require additional instruction, please reach out to us for additional tutoring. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.